With the fast-growing need for power in New York State, the governor is moving quickly on developing more nuclear energy, including at least one new reactor upstate, Oswego, a likely location for it. Joining us now is 116th State District Assemblyman Scott Gray, who represents part of Jefferson and St. Lawrence counties. Good to see you, Assemblyman. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me. Nice to see you.
So you were just part of a bipartisan state legislator delegation to France for an in-depth look at nuclear energy production there. Why France?
So France is really, I would say, probably the expert in nuclear generation, power generation. They are probably, I would say, roughly 70%, and sometimes it fluctuates between 65 to 75% of their fuel mix. So of the power generation comes from nuclear. So we did an in-depth look at France, and all the way from their utility, which is EDF, all the way through all the production and fuel cycle and nuclear reactor productions in France.
So, yeah, so you saw all aspects of it.
Yes, yes, comprehensive.
What's that like to be on the inside of those operations? So up close and for, like you said, people that do this on a very regular basis.
Yeah, I mean, it's what they do each and every day. So one of the facilities that we were at was Orano, and it was 650 acres. It was a large facility, has 4,500 employees, its own police department, its own fire department.
Wow.
And they have 4 reactors on site, as well as an enrichment facility. So they actually enrich the uranium right there. So that was fascinating to see. And they also have storage. And probably the biggest thing is they re-enrich the uranium for recycling purposes.
Well, I'm sure there was a lot, and I'm guessing it was a whirlwind trip. What would you say are a couple of the big takeaways for you as a state legislature in a body that is considering expanding nuclear energy? What were a couple of your biggest takeaways from this trip?
So first of all, if you watch all the safety that's inherently built into this whole system, it is incredible, and you see the technical aspects of building a reactor. We were actually in a factory that builds a reactor, and safety is the number one issue there. But probably one of the biggest things, first of all, is their dominance of nuclear energy production. And secondly, and they're building 6 more reactors. So there's plenty of experience in terms of building reactors. And they're also, part of the trip was watching some of the facilities, building equipment to retool some of these reactors, even in the United States. Yeah. So the other thing is the recycling. So they are using fuel, spent fuel, if you will, and then they're recycling it for other purposes for nuclear reactors. So, they're far and ahead, in front of everybody else in terms of the nuclear power generation. So it was an opportunity to learn exactly what a company is doing and a country is doing in terms of its reliance on nuclear and how it, like I said, 70% of its power baseline is nuclear.
Yeah. Maybe sneak one last question in for you. Now, sure. How do you take all of this and how does that help New York on its road to grow nuclear power? Obviously, you can't get to where France is right now, but we were going to take a few baby steps here. So how does this trip help what we're doing here?
Yeah. So right now, New York is about 20% of its overall fuel is being generated. Its overall fuel mix is nuclear. I think the governor is probably looking to push that to double that number. And so a lot of it is understanding the industry in and of itself. And so when I'm in the energy meetings, because I'm the ranking member of the Energy Committee, plus upstate New York is very viable and competitive for future reactors. It is important that you know the industry inside and out. So as I tell everybody, you have to be able to walk and talk it. So you have to have in-depth understanding of what the whole industry is about in order to lead communities into the next generation of, our power generation.
Assemblyman, this was a really great chat. I really appreciate your time. I would hope we can do this again because it's a really far-ranging topic.
Yes, absolutely. Happy to do it anytime. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Download the WSYR Plus app on your TV to stream News Channel 9 for free. Just go to your smart TV, search WSYR Plus in the App Store, and download to start streaming today.